Please be advised that this recorded webinar has been edited from its original format, which may have included a product demo. To set up a live demo or to request more information, please complete the form to the right. Or if you are currently not on CSC Global, there is a link to the website in the description of this video. Thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar, New eRecording Services from CSC, Comprehensive Real Estate Services and Technology. My name is Annie Triboletti and I will be your moderator. Joining us today are Kevin Kinderman, Jason Staley, and Elizabeth Wenzel. Kevin is the Market Director for CSC's Real Estate Division, where he defines product positioning and marketing strategy to maximize revenue and strategic growth. Under Kevin's leadership, the CSC Electronic Recording Network has grown exponentially, securing CSC's presence as the market leader. Jason is the Product Manager of eRecording Solutions for CSC in the Logan, Utah office. For 5 years, he has led the real estate product team, working closely with the development team, recording jurisdictions, title underwriters, and lending institutions to create best-in-class market solutions to better serve the real estate electronic document recording industry. Elizabeth is a national account consultant in CSC's real estate division. For 8 years, she's assisted CSC customers with their mortgage and uniform commercial code filings. She currently works with CSC's national real estate accounts, helping streamline their workflows and maximizing service benefits. And with that, let's welcome Kevin, Jason, and Elizabeth.
Thank you, Annie. Glad to be with Jason and Elizabeth today to share some of these additional services we're making available to our clients and our markets, and appreciate everyone's attendance today. So quick, just the first few things and some information about CSC and more of who we work with. So we're a leader in corporate legal and financial services and solutions to a variety of markets and industries, but there are over 10,000 law firms that we currently serve, over 180,000 corporate clients, and of those, 65% of them are the top 100 best global brands, and even 90% of the Fortune 500 companies utilize CSC in some fashion. We work with over 3,000 financial market clients, so this could be financial institutions, banks, credit unions, mortgage servicers, private investment groups, and then obviously we have a worldwide presence. Here we're located in our headquartered office in Delaware, but we have offices throughout the United States in many locations. We have many offices and branches throughout Europe, and then even in the Asia Pacific region in places like Hong Kong and Australia and even Singapore. So some additional details here about some of the solutions that CSC provides, and our real focus and emphasis has always been on providing business services to other corporations or entities to assist them in their operations. Primarily and sort of initially, we have a history of registered agent services where we stand in place and provide that representation services and provide service process. We have a very large UCC search and filing division that assists, again, many of those financial lending clients and also law firms. Today we'll be talking in detail about some of our real estate services, but we have a strong division with our recording and searching business unit. Some of our other services are matter and deal management applications. We provide corporate filing and document services, so this would be things like annual report filings with the state office, or even expanded into the entity and matter management services that include business licensing in various jurisdictions and other corporate tax solutions. And then finally, to wrap us up here, we have some global financial market services that assists clients and helping them manage their clients' assets in a variety of ways. And then last here is our digital brand services unit. We provide domain management services and help large corporations protect their online brands. So we're going to go through a little agenda here, and throughout the presentation today, we're going to talk primarily about these additional comprehensive services that we've tied into our ePrepare, or electronic recording system. First here is our property search services to help our clients obtain the necessary property information for them to complete their documents with the necessary information to ensure that they get recorded properly. We're going to review our document templates, so both for commercial and residential lenders. We've developed a very efficient and convenient signer manager tool that we'll talk in detail about. We've expanded things even to go into the eTrustee services, so this will be concentrated in a few states where there's a need here, but in preparation to have a release of deed of trust recorded, we know that a trustee needs to be appointed, and we have an electronic way to do that to streamline the process. Our deed of trust lookup process, again, this is a regional or specific state need that we know gets encountered in Colorado. We'll talk a little bit about that, how we've integrated some services within our e-recording application. And then finally, on the post-recording part of the process, we know that often email notifications need to or should be sent to our clients or even some of our partners or lenders. We've even put together a borrower notification letter service to notify certain individuals or lenders of when documents have been recorded. So the idea and sort of premise behind all of this is, as we've encountered this pandemic and that there has been a tremendous transition to adopt digital tools and embrace technology, that has been the intention behind these additional services. Is we're finding more and more ways by listening to our clients what additional services we can put in place to streamline their processes, to help them become even more productive, to optimize their processes, and to get best use of their time. So many of these things will be almost appendages of the document preparation and document recording process, but we're excited to talk with you about them and emphasize how they can help keep your processes secure, but also boost some of the efficiencies.
I'm going to go to our next slide, and staying in that same vein of searching, as I mentioned, and even as our results show, those basic things tend to be most important. And so we've recognized this at CSC and realized that there's a need out there to be able to quickly get to the information that you need to prep your documents. And as I don't know if you noticed, but as you looked at the plan for today, or our agenda that Kevin went through, there's kind of a workflow to it. There's that pre-recording work, then there's the things that have to happen at recording, so in the cases of having to go to a trustee, also needing templates and documents to be able to create, and then there's that post-recording work. Searching definitely relies heavily in that pre-recording, and we recognized that and decided to put in some tools within our application. For those that are familiar with ePrepare and our e-recording solution, we've added in additional screens in the system so users can actually search directly from that application. Very focused on those basic needs that we saw in those poll questions. So as you see on the screen here, a couple of the main things that we provide are parcel identification numbers, ownership verification, and legal description, as well as some property tax statuses and property data images. The way this works is, as a user, you can log into ePrepare with your regular ePrepare credentials, but then you have the option to search through 3 different means. You can search by owner name, you can search by address, and you can even search by the APN or parcel number. And then from there, you'll get a result set back of identifying, so you can ensure that, hey, this is the property I'm looking for. And with that, we then can provide you back this other information like the property descriptions and the tax statuses. We do have data images in many places. And again, this data is we acquire from our data sources and working with our counties. And some jurisdictions are much more forthcoming with the data. Others are a little slower to update their systems. And so though we have a large footprint, in some places we have really, really strong data. In other places it's not quite as strong. But what I would say is in most places we can get those images. And so if there are questions of property description, you can always go back to the original image and we can provide that for you quite often. But flowing into the next area is once you have that information, it's valuable for when you go to prep your documents. So that next step of features that I want to talk about that we've been able to implement is really expanding our templates. Many of you who have worked with us know that we've had a very strong presence in the financial lending area, especially when it comes to residential lending and residential documents, especially for releases and assignments. But we've recognized that there's a need out there, especially for our commercial friends, and we've expanded our templates, and we continue to grow these templates. Much of the expansion recently has been very strongly in working with assignments of ALR or releases of ALR, also commercial assignments, and again, trying to tailor that to those commercial needs because those documents are very unique. These documents, we've also provided these templates in multiple means. Often I get asked, what's your eRecording footprint? And our eRecording footprint is very large. It's over 80%. However, what I will say is we do service the entire U.S. So even in jurisdictions where eRecording is not available, we do have templates that allow our users to produce their releases and their assignments, and again, the commercial ones as well, in jurisdictions that may not be electronically recording today. So that's kind of a portion of where we're growing. I'm going to pass it over to Elizabeth, and she can kind of take us through some of these other features we've been working on.
Thanks, Jason. As Jason was mentioning, we do have these templates available in our system, and you can go into those, basically do a data entry where you provide the information that the county requires, and then those templates can either remain completely digital and be electronically signed and notarized, or you can print the document and manually sign and notarize it and send it for paper recording. And along with the digital signing and notarization, we've developed something called the Signer Manager tool. And this tool allows you to assign the signer and the notary on the document at the moment that it gets signed, instead of at the moment that the document is created. So if there's a delay, even if it's just throughout the day, between when the document is created and when it gets signed, we all know that things can happen. Sometimes people need to leave early for an emergency situation, or just something happens and the person you expected to be available to notarize documents isn't there. And this allows you to be flexible, and you don't have to appoint that person and wait for that person to be available. Another great feature about the Signer Manager tool is it actually prioritizes documents based on either the state compliance timeframes, or you're able to prioritize the documents as well. So if there are documents that you know need to be recorded as soon as possible, this tool will make sure that they get signed and notarized first and sent for recording first. So it provides you with an additional efficiency. It makes things even quicker when you're preparing your documents, and then it also gives you the flexibility of being able to assign the signer and notary right at the time that they're ready to take those steps. In addition, we've added an eTrustee service to ePrepare. The eTrustee service allows you to appoint a new trustee so that they can then release the deed of trust. And for documents that can be e-recorded, this process can be entirely digital. We can actually transmit the document to the trustee that we work with, have them sign the document and submit it for recording, and often we're seeing that the documents are recorded within 24 hours, which is a great turnaround time. It also eliminates the need for you to keep track of paper documents and find an additional party to work with in those counties who would be able to provide you with this service. We take care of all of it for you. And the service is available both for e-recording and for our paper fulfillment service, where we actually submit paper documents. And lastly, we have a specific solution for Colorado. In Colorado, documents the release of a deed of trust has to be signed by the public trustee, and the public trustee is an elected county official. And so What happens with the release is it is first transmitted to the public trustee. They're going to review the release, and as long as they approve it, then they sign the document and send it to the recorder to get recorded. And as part of the public trustee's approval process, they want to see a copy of the deed of trust. So we've added a service, an integrated service with the counties, where we're able to retrieve a copy of that deed of trust and submit it for recording to the public trustee for you. It's very simple to use in the application. There's a checkbox where you say you want us to retrieve that copy, and then we take care of it for you.
I want to talk a little bit about that post-recordation process. So we have a couple services that we've added. The first one to address is our custom email notifications. For a while, we've supported the ability to fire off the emails once a document records or rejects, and you can use that internally and notify your users. But we've really expanded this concept out to where now you can have custom emails. So these emails get sent off with your letterhead, has your company logo, contact information, also provides the copies of the recorded documents. So when, so for example, if you're a title and settlement company and the document, or you record the document and everything's complete and you need to notify the lenders, you can put in your lender's email when you're prepping that document. So once it's completed, it will automatically send off that email. You don't have to worry about notifying them. The system takes care of it for you. Same thing if by chance you need to notify your borrower that once things have been recorded, here's a copy, and you can notify them that way through this electronic means. And so to give you an idea of what it looks like, and again, this is a mock-up using my logo. So swap the CSC logo for your own personal logo, and then there's much manipulation that you can provide with this. But it will send out the notice saying, hey, here's the documents that have been recorded. If you have any questions, please contact, and you can provide any of that contact information that you want to provide, as well as your any other element that is necessary to help reference for your customers. In addition to the custom emails, we also have a borrower notification letter service. So as many of you are aware, with BNLs, there are several jurisdictions that require BNLs to be processed. I know in many cases it's often a courtesy that's provided, but with that process, you have to provide the bodies to prep the letters, compile the letters, ship them off. CSC provides that as a service. So what happens is, as you're processing a document through our application, you have the ability to index those values, and it sends off to the county. But it's not to the county, apologies. It sends off to the borrower. And so it's an automated service.